You're watching Bet Rivers Pro Football Weekly on the Bet Rivers Network.
Welcome, everybody, to the latest episode of Bet Rivers Pro Football Weekly, along with two-time Super Bowl champion Brandon Stokley. I'm Adam the Bull, and each week we give you our best bets around the National Football League. And Brandon, we do picks. Bet Rivers keeps a compilation of picks through the season. And so far, there's 5 of us that make picks for this. Brandon and I, Jimmy Ott, who's a gambling guru here, Mike Francesa in New York, and Kyle, who's a do-it-all guy around here. And Brandon, if I remember correctly, you got off to a bad start, but you've been hot lately. And the standings are very close near the top. Jimmy Ott is 40-34. I'm 38-36, and you're 37-37. So we're within 3 games of each other. After 15 weeks, I'm Mike down to 32, and I love Kyle, but 27-47. He's having a rough season there. But so we've been picking well, and we'll see how it goes the rest of the year. We got some games to pick for you this week, so let's get right to it. Let's start with your first game, and that's we got Saturday action this week. Always love that. The Eagles and the Commanders and the Packers and the Bears. You've got picks in both these games. Let's start with the Eagles and Commanders. The Commanders getting a rare victory, beating the woeful Giants last week to end their long losing streak. Meanwhile, the Eagles, they ended their 3-game losing streak by just destroying the awful Raiders last week. So both teams coming off a win against a bad team. The difference here, the Commanders remain a bad team also, but the Eagles are not. So you're going with the Eagles.
Yeah, give me the Eagles. Jaden Daniels done for the year. What does Washington have to play for?
Right.
Eagles got a lot to play for, and hopefully, if you take this bet like I am and taking the Eagles, then hopefully they found their rhythm and their groove last week against the Raiders. So I just believe a lot more in Philly, especially defensively. Still love their defense, and I think they get after them defensively.
All right, your second game is the night game I mentioned on Saturday. It's a good game, a really good game. The Packers and the Bears. The Packers are a 1-point road favorite in this one. The Packers actually lost last week, losing a heartbreaker to the Broncos so their 4-game winning streak came to an end. Bears just destroyed the woeful Browns, 31-3, I think was the final last week. But you like the Packers on the road.
Yeah, give me the Packers. I mean, tough loss there with Micah Parsons going down. They had the Broncos on the ropes, and Pat Surtain had a big-time interception in that game, turned the momentum there in the second half, and the Broncos then kind of separated themselves. But I like a lot of things that the Packers are doing, and I still think they're going to be a good defense. I think they're a better overall team than Chicago. Once again, I'm doubting Chicago, so we'll see how that goes for me. But give me the Packers.
All right, so you got the 2 road teams in the Saturday action. I'll stay away from that game. I'm with you on the Eagles. I don't have a good feel for the Bears. I think they're okay, and they've been very lucky to some degree. I mean, some of it's they've earned, but sometimes when the turnover numbers are so in your favor, there's obviously a little luck involved there. Good breaks. So I'll stay away from that one personally. Last week, I insanely picked the Browns to cover against the Bears. This week, not the same. 1 o'clock on CBS. The Bills at the Browns. The Bills are a 10.5-point road favorite, which is very rare to be a double-digit favorite on the road. But the Browns just cannot run the ball right now. 4 of their 5 starters on the offensive line are hurt. And, the Bills' weakness defensively is their run defense, but the Browns just can't run. And I think the Bills are much better against the pass. And the Browns' defense, which was great early in the season, has been awful the last 2 weeks. And the Bills obviously have, in my opinion, the best quarterback in football right now. So I think the Bills are going to win this game easy. 3 touchdowns at least. I'll lay the 10.5.
I like it. I mean, you can't take the Browns. I was with you on the Browns last week. Can't believe that game went that one-sided. So that was a little bit of a surprise. Might as well ride Buffalo. They're coming off of a big win.
Yeah.
They want to keep the momentum going and heading into the playoffs.
All right, game 2 for me, I'm going – who would have ever thought I would pick the Tennessee Titans to beat the Kansas City Chiefs? But That's what I'm doing here. And I know the Titans have been awful, and they haven't won a home game all year. They are 0-7 at home. But their offense has been a lot better. They've scored 55 points the last 2 weeks. The Chiefs are a complete disaster. They were falling apart even before Mahomes got hurt. And Mahomes obviously out for the season. They're going with Gardner Minshew, and he's not terrible for a backup quarterback, but I think Rashee Rice might not play. They are a mess, and even when Mahomes was there, they were terrible on the road this year. They're 1-5. As bad as the Titans are, I'm going to take them. I'll take the 3 points just in case, but I think they're going to win outright at home. Probably crazy.
And the Chiefs' offensive line is banged up. So if you're not going to have the protection for Minshew, it could be a long day for them offensively. I just have a hard time taking the Titans against anyone.
That's fair.
Maybe this is it. Maybe this is their first time to get that first win at home.
Yeah, it's crazy. Some weird games this week. Here's another one. We're heads up in this one. The Jets-Saints. Speaking of two bad teams, Jets 3-11, Saints 4-10. The Saints are a 5.5-point favorite at home. You like the Jets in this one?
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe the Saints have won 2 weeks in a row. They beat Tampa, beat Carolina, come from behind in both those football games. Just craziness. But they're kind of finding a rhythm right now. I don't know who's playing quarterback for the Jets. I mean, that's just too many points for me to pass up with the Saints. So I'm going to take the points and just hope that the Jets can do something. Just do something. I mean, try to save Aaron Glenn's job. I mean, because they have been pathetic, but I'm going to keep riding against the Saints.
I like the way the Saints are playing right now. Since Tyler Shook has become the starter, they're 3-3. Wouldn't shock me if they won more. The rest of their schedule, Jets at home, at the Titans, at the Falcons. I mean, they could win any of those games. And both these teams are lacking offensive talent. The Saints don't really have a legitimate starting running back. But since Shook has taken over, not only has their offense been better, but their defense has played much better since he's taken over. And so, they're giving up less than 20 points a game or just around 20 points a game since he became the quarterback or since his second start. After early in the season, they were just giving up crazy points. So, yeah, it's a lot of points, and the Saints are bad, but I just think the Jets are a whole lot worse.
Yeah, I might regret that one.
Yeah. Last pick for you, Brandon, the Broncos, who have been playing great win. Bo Nix played, I don't know, maybe the best game of his career, one of them. They're at home hosting the Jaguars. Man, I wouldn't have guessed in the beginning of the year this would be one of the best games, but it's a great game. Jags and Trevor Lawrence is playing the best football of his career.
Yeah, they've won 5 in a row, 6 out of 7. Jacksonville's balling. And you look at the Broncos. Broncos obviously have won 11 in a row. They're balling.
Yep.
And they got this game at home. I mean, just like last week, I took the Broncos against the Packers, and I'll take the points. This one, I'll give the 3 points. Right. It's going to be rocking in Denver. And Bo's looked the best he's looked here the last month. And to your point, he probably played his best football game last week. He was great. Defensively, they're still playing pretty good football defensively. They can get after a quarterback. I just think that, Jacksonville's maybe playing over their head a little bit, but give Trevor Lawrence, Liam Cohen, the head coach, a lot of credit. They're kind of finding their rhythm right now. It took them a little while to get going, and defensively, they're leading the league in rush defense, and they're one of the top in the league in getting turnovers. So defensively, they've been kind of sneaky under the radar, good defense.
Our last pick for me, it's the battle for first place in the NFC South, a division that's been led by the Buccaneers the last 2 years. The Buccaneers and Panthers are both 7-7. Both lost last week. You mentioned the Panthers blew that game to the Saints. I like the Panthers to bounce back, especially getting 3 at home. Baker Mayfield, who got off to a great start, has been one of the worst quarterbacks in the league for almost 2 months now. He's been terrible. So I'm going with Carolina. I think they're going to run it a lot with Dowdle, and I just drew a blank on their other back, who was hurt earlier in the year.
Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah, right. Thank you, Hubbard.
Chuba Hubbard, right?
Yeah, so I like the Panthers. I like them +3 at home to take the lead in the first matchup. They're playing twice in the last 3 weeks, so I like the Panthers here.
How about that? That's great scheduling from the NFL right there. You got
Yep.
the two division leaders playing 2 times in the last 3 weeks of the season. That's exciting to see who wins that division. I don't know. Hey, let's see how Tampa responds. Todd Bowles called them out after their last loss, and so let's see if they got some heart or they're ready to go on vacation. But it's time to respond. They got too much talent to be playing as bad as they've been playing. So it should be a great game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. A lot of good games this week. Well, a couple of games that I'm interested to watch that we didn't mention, that we didn't have a pick on. Steelers-Lions at 4:25 on Sunday. The Patriots and Ravens Sunday Night Football is a great game.
That's going to be a big game. You look at the Ravens, fighting to try to get into the playoffs and win the division, and Patriots, had the Bills on the ropes and should have easily won that football game and just blew that one. So what do they have left? How do they bounce back after that collapse last week against the Bills?
And can the Colts, who are season is spiraling with 53-year-old Phillip Rivers, can they hang in there with the Niners? What'd you think of Phillip Rivers last week, Brandon?
Well, I thought he was probably better than I expected.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like he had a lot of zip on that football. Defensively, the Colts played well. But, man, they just need a little bit more,
Yeah.
But, they're riding with Phillip Rivers. I thought maybe at that moment Riley Leonard might give them a little bit of a different option because he can use his legs. And you have that 1-2 punch of him and Jonathan Taylor in the backfield. But they're going with Phillip Rivers. So I thought he handled himself fine, though. It wasn't a complete disaster.
No.
He just doesn't have a lot of zip on that football. So it'd be interesting now to see, after being there a couple weeks, what it looks like this week. But, I mean, they got the 49ers. Yeah, that doesn't get any easier for them. I mean, it was a tough test last week against the Seahawks, and now you got the Niners, another tough test. So I'm pulling for them, though. It's a great story.
Yeah, it's an amazing story. But I don't have particularly high hopes in this situation for Phillip Rivers, but it is a great story. All right, folks, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it as always. We'll see how we do with our picks this week. And I will be here for the final few weeks of the regular season. Thanks to Tim and Alex for producing today. For 2-time Super Bowl champion Brandon Stokley, I'm Adam the Bull. We'll talk to you next time on Bet Rivers Pro Football Week.
Thanks for watching Bet Rivers Pro Football Weekly on the Bet Rivers Network.